Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of the Cafe Racer to Scrambler in this economy build series here on SpinDat. If you've been following along with this build, you already know where we're at. You know everything we've done, but if not, episode 1 got this thing running again after 4 years of sitting dead. And in that episode, I put the original upright straight bars that were on this thing back on. Of course, I had to modify my custom Cognito Moto triple trees to make that work, but worth it to get this here Scrambler seating position. In episode 2, we used these 14.5-inch long Fox Podium Rs to lift the rear of this bike to get a little bit more ground clearance for all the scramblery activities that this bike should see very soon once the snow's gone. And I fabricated this here rear fender from the back of the front fender and mounted what was left of the chopped up front fender underneath the triple tree, to give that old school dirt bikey scrambler front end look. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think it looks absolutely great. I hope you agree. So for episode 3, I'm going to show you the list of things that need to be done. These are kind of the needs to be done. And I wasn't quite sure which box I would like to tick off on the list next until this box from Fort 9 showed up. And it's got these in it. So I get to do another visual transformation and put the knobbies on this thing. Love that this thing has the exhaust the way it does. You can just put the stand under it all. It's so easy. I'm sort of expecting the front to have the most visually striking difference. So obviously I'm going to do it first because I want to look at it. I've kind of got like a lifetime of working on mountain bikes, and within the last however many years it's been, Cushcore installs to thank for not believing that this is a daunting task. This came off kind of fine. How much you want to bet I pinched the tube too much that it won't hold air? I like the way this looks. I like the transformation, but I would kind of be lying if I said I was totally in love with it. I think I kind of just missed the mark on the sizing of the rear. I could have gone one size up. This is the Shinko 244 in an 18 by 4.1 inch wide. They make a 4.6, but I erred on the side of caution. I was a little bit worried that it was going to rub because the original, and this is going to be a little bit annoying because it's going to go metric to standard, but the original 110 millimeter wide tire, this tire actually did rub in the swing arm of the bike. Like it was hitting, there's a bar here that holds the drum brake in place. It would rub on that. And that, if you convert 110 millimeters, it's 4.33 inch. So I didn't want to go to a 4.6. I thought it would rub. I erred on the side of caution. So as it turns out, just like in the cycling world, there can be variances in sizing when you look at what a tire size might be versus what you actually get. That tire might have been stretched out quite a bit over the years. It's been on here for like a long time. Anyway, this 4.1 on here, while it doesn't look nearly as cool as what that bigger tire did, even though that was a slick, is going to offer some room for mud and all this stuff to go through. I'll just do skids, burnouts, and stuff with this. Have lots of mud clearance until it burns out, wears out, and I'll try the 4.6, see what it looks like, see if it stretches and starts rubbing. Who knows? Lesson learned. Thankfully and amazingly, these tires are actually less money than mountain bike tires are. So I don't consider this that much of a loss. I just sort of wish it looked like that little bit better. There was a real opportunity here to have like a very striking looking Scrambler, and right now I think doesn't matter. It's still gonna be super fun. There is some more things to do. The first of those things to do, which is wiring in the headlight switch so that it, can be turned on and used, is a little bit on the boring side, but still kind of needs to be done. While true, not that exciting, headlight, low beam, high beam. Love that. Not to mention that ever so satisfying feeling of getting to check things off of a to-do list. I'm not naive to the fact that I gave the most exciting part. Like I gave up the dessert of this video right at the start with the tire change. I'm hoping you're still here because I think this next thing that I have to do, which is swap out the brake line that's on there right now, is kind of interesting. It's like a little bit, it's stupid, it's a little bit nerdy. It's like kind of the epitome of all the tinkering that I've done kind of my whole life. This is it's a braided brake line with 2 banjo fittings. And on this bike, it's actually kind of weird because these come with a cable actuated drum brake on the front. When I was like first ever building this bike, I kept going on like bikeexif.com and I'd constantly see GSXR front end swaps on old bikes, and I wanted to do that, but I'm like really cheap, and GSXR front ends are not cheap. But I thought having a disc brake would be an upgrade over the drum brake. A friend of mine had this Honda CB550 front end with wheel that he was willing to donate to the project. So I did the work required to make sure that this fork in this front wheel, this 19-inch front wheel, got on to this bike. Of course, what I didn't know was the CB550 brakes are notoriously underpowered, really bad. And on my first ride out with it, I had learned that what I thought was a performance upgrade was indeed a performance downgrade, all in the name of aesthetics, because I spent too much time online. Now I'm kind of stuck with it because I eventually got these triple trees machined, and you're just at this point, if I take it apart again, it'll never go back together. But what does that have to do with the brake line I just put on? Well, I had a 600 millimeter long one that was for the clip-ons. It was too short for this, so I ordered the 1200 millimeter one. It was way too long. I should have just ordered the 900. So typical move on me. Don't measure it, just make a guess. You don't know. I'll just do whatever. This is fitting and looking much better now. That's just a brake bleed away from having pretty dismally operational brakes. I think that's it for this motorcycle tinkering video.